Here's how to not quit on Quitter's Day. Do not let this day stop you. I'll tell you everything you need to know about it in this post, and I'm sharing 7 self-love practices, powerful, impactful practices to help you follow through on your 2026 goals and set you up for the best year of success in 2026. So let's get into it. I'm reading straight from my Substack post on Step Into Love with Sophia. Step Into Love, very sweet. Check it out if you like. I'm going to read everything to you here, so let's do it. First, I open with a beautiful quote by Mary Ann Radmacher. Courage does not always roar. Sometimes courage is the quiet voice at the end of the day saying, I will try again tomorrow. That's very powerful. This is something I'm going to return to, because having that self-love and that grace with yourself to be able to say, okay, if I broke a chain, say I wanted to write every single day, but one day I didn't find the time to do it, you can start again tomorrow. You will try again tomorrow. Return to those goals, those things that you said are so important to you. So here's a bit of information about Quitter's Day and why this is an important, turning point, an important day on the calendar year to get past. So the day when most people quit, but you will not be quitting on Quitter's Day, because you have this information to support you. You have these neuroscience tools and self-love practices I'm going to share to support you getting past this day. So yes, Quitter's Day is a real thing. Since 2019, when fitness tracking platform Strava first identified this pattern, the term has been used to describe the second Friday of January, the day when New Year's resolutions most commonly fall apart. And so in 2026, the second Friday of the year is January 9th. So for us, it's pretty soon. It's right around the corner. It's really, really close, okay? January 9th, Quitter's Day, 2026. And this is not just internet folklore. Strava analyzed over 800 million user-logged activities globally and discovered a clear pattern that motivation begins to decline dramatically by this specific date. The data is sobering, it makes you recognize some things. Approximately 80% of people worldwide abandon their New Year's resolutions by the end of the second week of January. And a 2023 YouGov poll found that only 1 in 5 US adults who set a New Year's resolution stuck to it entirely by early February. While fitness goals show the steepest drop-off, the pattern holds across all types of resolutions, from learning new skills to financial goals to creative pursuits. And this is why I think that books like Atomic Habits and other books dealing with, habit formation have been so impactful in recent years, because everyone really wants to know, why some goals drop off. Maybe we set them too high, maybe they're too lofty, and if they don't fit into your life, it's not really likely to happen. So you've got to find ways to make your goals and your dream life fit into your current reality. And that's what this post is all about. And here's what I want you to know. This is the goal. Quitter's Day need not stop you. Okay, we're not going to let it stop you at all this year. In fact, I'd like to reframe this entire day of Quitter's Day for you. Let's see it as not a deadline for failure. Instead, let's treat Quitter's Day as a checkpoint. Just a checkpoint you're going to get past. Like you're running the race and you've gotten past that checkpoint, A moment to pause and recalibrate. That's what Quitter's Day is for you. It's a moment to choose love over criticism. And it's a day to remember that stepping into alignment with your goals is always as close as your next choice. You can take that next step. So Quitter's Day does not stop you, and here's how. Here's the 7 steps of how. First of all, you want to employ self-love at every single obstacle. If you encounter any obstacles, I encourage you employ self-love at every turn. So when you hit a wall with your goals, and you inevitably might, the first voice you hear matters more than anything else. Is that voice harsh, judgmental, or is that voice compassionate and encouraging to you? Self-love is not about being soft on yourself, it's about being loving, right? So it's about being real with yourself and honest and truthful and graceful. It's about saying, this is hard and I'm learning, And I'm worthy of patience as I figure this out. And I'm still going to continue figuring this out. I'm not giving up on myself. I'm not giving up on my goals. Every obstacle is an invitation to choose love over fear and choose gentleness over self-punishment. That's very powerful. It's been a very powerful lesson in my life, so I love to share it. So the next time that you miss a workout or skip a writing session or fall short of your intentions, just pause, place your hand on your heart, and ask yourself, what would love do right now? Would being loving to myself mean that I forgive myself? I understand that this might be coming from a place of exhaustion or stress or worry, and so I will love myself. I will not beat myself up more. I will not cause more mental stress and anxiety by attacking myself with mean words about this. Instead, I will love myself, and I will do the next loving thing, the next best step. Because hatred is weak, it's not powerful, but stepping into love is always, always available to you. So just know that if you're in this pattern, there are ways you can step out of it. And that's something that I teach, and I'm so passionate about teaching this awareness, this knowledge that you can change your self-talk. You can change these patterns. You can rewire your mind so that you are in a more loving conversation with yourself when you're observing yourself. So give yourself that love and grace, even and especially if you fall short temporarily from your goal. And know that every obstacle is a chance for you to learn and grow, and it's a chance for you to practice your self-love, which builds up over time and just then becomes a wonderful instilled habit and just natural for you. It's wonderful. Step 2 of these practices for How Quitter's Day will not stop you. Step 2 is establish positive self-talk to support your endeavors. So the way that you speak to yourself creates the world that you live in, and your self-talk is really the foundation for all of your goals, all your achievements, all of your outcomes. The way that you talk to yourself and encourage yourself really makes the rest of it possible. If your inner dialogue sounds like, I'm terrible at this, I always quit, what's the point? Well, that's pretty self-defeating. And that's the exact energy that will keep you stuck in those lower states and like not feeling super able to climb out of it, right? Because that's a lot of obstacles, a lot of heaviness to get through. But here's the truth. Those lower energy states are not permanent. They're just thoughts. They are energy. They are bad feelings. They are negative states that we can get into, and there are reasons why. There's trauma, there's bodily stuff, there's health issues, but you have the power to make changes. And I want you to know that you have the agency, and especially with this point, you have the power to change your thoughts, and you have the power to change your self-talk. And that's so impactful in terms of changing the outcomes that you want to see in your life. So what if instead your inner voice said, I'm learning, I'm capable of trying again, and I will try again. This matters to me, and I'm worth the effort. Try putting in those sorts of words in your self-talk, like, this matters to me, I'm worth it, I will try again, I believe in myself, I trust myself, all that lovely stuff. I have an action step here. I'll share the link. I have a free self-talk audit. It takes about 5 minutes. It's a free form, and this will help you identify the patterns that are either supporting or sabotaging your goals, and it will help you identify where you are with your self-talk. And then I will send you a customized, personalized plan directly to your email inbox when you fill out this self-talk audit. And I'd love to support you in that way. So please feel free to fill that out and share that with any friends. I hope this is a very valuable, helpful resource for setting up your self-talk to be improved in 2026. And I'll speak more about this later, but I'm hosting some masterclasses mid-January to really cement those positive self-talk habits. After you've done the audit, to get you started, there's masterclasses, there's more opportunities to engage on this, and I'll be sharing a lot on positive self-talk because I think it's one of the most important things that we can do to really positively impact our lives and positively impact the culture, positively impact the culture in 2026. See, I get so excited about this topic. So when you know what you're saying to yourself, you can intentionally shift it. And that's why this self-talk audit is a wonderful tool for you to have that awareness and see what you intentionally want to shift in your language with yourself. I've also have linked here my Promise Your Positive Self-Talk post in 2026. So more about promising yourself positive self-talk in that post, I'll link. And on that note, step number 3 is to keep promises to yourself, because this builds confidence. So you know what destroys confidence faster than anything is actually breaking promises to yourself. If you neglect the promises that you make to yourself, or you neglect the things that you say are important, it kind of starts to plague on you. It starts to feel like this negative cloud over you. I'm not sure if you guys have experienced this, but I've definitely felt this oh, I want to write every day in the past, and then if I didn't write every day, it was I just felt guilty about it, and I didn't feel good about not keeping that promise to myself. So then I learned eventually to keep those promises and instill that habit of writing every single day, which I love. So for example, if you say you're going to write every day, but then you skip one day, there is a temptation to spiral into shame and say see, I knew I couldn't do it, I'm such a failure, blah, blah, blah. But that's not what's actually happening. What's actually happening is that you are a human and you had a moment of misalignment, or you had a moment where there was a lot of other things going on and you had to shift priorities, and that is okay. Of course, that is forgivable. Or in my example, if you are not yet in the habit, haven't fit it into your life, you can give yourself grace and say, how can I make this work? What adjustments can I make to make this a priority, to give this priority time, a time slot in my life, and make it a daily action? So do not worry, do not beat yourself up, just get back on that horse the next day. If you're keeping the chain on something I want to jog every day or something, or I want to work out every day, and if you miss a day, you're not going to throw away that for the rest of the week, the rest of the month, the rest of the year. You're just going to get back into that good habit the next time you have a chance. So just get back on that horse when you're ready. Even if you miss 2 days, even if you miss a week, like I said, be gentle with yourself and return to your goals, because you're committed and interested in this goal for a reason, clearly. You are meant to align to it. Your heart is drawn to this goal. Your heart is drawn to this thing that you want to do. So it's meant for you. So follow through on your actions, one small step at a time. Confidence does not come from perfection. It comes from showing up again and again, even when or if it is messy, but you keep showing up. Step 4, yes, you can revise your resolutions if needed. So here's something that's not often said about goals. You're allowed to change them, especially when you get new information about yourself, maybe about how the goal is working out for you. Maybe you learn something about yourself and actually want to revise your goal. You're allowed to do that. So I find that one truly powerful way to revise my resolutions or goals or dreams, pick whatever term you prefer, is to make them more realistic by committing them to action items. So breaking down your big audacious resolutions into weekly, monthly, and quarterly action items that are actually achievable. A lot of people call these SMART goals. I love that term. SMART is sustainable, measurable, actionable. I can't remember the other two, but look up the acronym. It's a great one. I'll probably include it in a future post. SMART goals are great. You can, one is timely. The T is timely. R might be results centered or something. Anyways, you can revise your resolutions. You can also adjust the words slightly to fit your current needs. And I find this is really helpful. So you can lower the bar a little bit linguistically, not out of defeat, but out of a practical embodied wisdom to support you. So for example, if your goal is to play guitar every single day, I did this fall, and I had a time block on my calendar for an hour every day, and for 2 months I just moved it down or deleted it because I wasn't finding an hour to do that. I would do something else, like write or cook dinner or go on a walk or clean or something, finish up work, send emails. But then I made this neurolinguistic shift that really helped me and empowered me to actually play guitar like I wanted to. So I was struggling to keep it up when I had said play guitar every day in my calendar for an hour. But then I switched it to touch my guitar, and I lowered that bar to simply just touching the guitar. Even if that just meant, I think the first day, November 1st, I started with just tuning the thing, pressing my fingers to it, and I changed the time block to like 15 or 30 minutes on my calendar. So it was a lower bar, but then guess what? I actually started doing it, and I played 2 months straight, every day for 2 months, and it was great. And I built up my calluses, and I was able to play guitar with my brother when I visited for Christmas, and that was my goal. That was my driving factor. So I knew I had to do something to get past this little mental block in my head that I don't have time to play guitar for an hour. So lowering the bar to touching the guitar for 15 minutes makes it so much more achievable. So like I said, reframing, reworking, revising a little bit your action items and your goals so that you know that you can achieve them on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly basis, you know? These neuro-linguistic programming shifts make tremendous differences over time, just like James Clear's example in Atomic Habits, his book, about the 1% directional change of an airplane. 1% over the course of an hour, you'll end up in a totally different place. And a 1% change every day for a year equals a 360-degree change by year's end. So that's huge. So this demonstrates embodied self-love at its finest. You are reprogramming your brain to associate success with actually like small, doable, and achievable actions rather than impossible standards. So really think about, and I encourage you to attend the masterclasses for this, as I will walk you through specifically if you have specific questions on how can I make this more achievable, what neurolinguistic shift can I make, I'll be able to coach you on that, and I'm happy to respond in the comments if you guys have any questions. Number 5. Stack your habits and engineer your environment to make it easy for you. This is kind of a 2-in-1. This is a nice one. So you don't need to create entirely new routines from scratch. Instead, it's a lot easier to attach your new goals to habits that you already have in place. So for example, do you want to work in more squats into your life? So you could do 5 squats every morning while you're waiting for the water kettle to boil. Do you want to work in more Kegels? Like, do it while you're brushing your teeth, while you're at a stoplight, whatever, you know? Do you want to add in emotional freedom technique to your morning routine? This is something I teach. I'm so passionate about EFT tapping. I think it's a wonderful healing tool. And I do it morning and night. I stack it right onto my skincare routines morning and night. And that's a way that I encourage everyone in my life to do it. I just love it because you won't forget it when you're like, oh yeah, this is just the last step of my skincare routine. Habit stacking works because you're piggybacking on the neural pathways that are already established in your brain to do that habit. Like, you brush your teeth every day, you drink water. What can you habit stack onto that? So you're not fighting any resistance because you're just stacking something onto an already formed habit, and you're flowing with what's already natural. Second piece to this is that you can engineer your environment to support your success. So your environment is either working for you or against you in many ways, and you can observe how your environments support you. I encourage you to observe this, be aware of it, and you can design your environment to support your goals, especially your new goals for 2026. For example, if you want to write more, keep your journal right nearby, open, next to you, on your desk, with the pen in place. I sometimes place my journal on top of my laptop very intentionally because I'm like, I don't want to just open the laptop immediately. I actually want to go to the journal first. So that's a way that I prime my environment for that reminder. And also there's kind of the obstacle of my journal being there first. This is what psychologists call choice architecture. So designing your space so that the right choice is the easiest choice. Make that the easiest choice for you. You're removing friction from the things that you want to do. If you want to eat healthier, have your fruit basket out for you to eat. The fresh fruit is right there, and you're not going to go searching for something else. This also works when you add friction to the things that you're trying to avoid. For another example, if you don't want to eat a bunch of candy, don't bring it into the house or hide it in the back of the pantry so that you don't have easy access to it. This is, again, self-love in action. You're not relying on your willpower alone. You're setting yourself up to succeed by designing your environment to support you. Number 6, Continue to take good care of yourself. Here's your reminders that your goals do not exist in a vacuum. They exist inside yourself, inside your body, your nervous system, and your life that requires tending. And especially your nervous system, which is just working to keep you alive. So if you're running on fumes, if you're exhausted, if you're in a survival mode, it's so much harder to do these things. If you're beating yourself up and pushing through exhaustion, you're not going to have the energy to sustain your resolutions. This isn't a moral failing. It's not your fault. It's just simple human biology. It's like, how much energy do you have, you know? So we need to support ourselves and take good care of ourselves. So eat nourishing foods, move your body in ways that feel good to you consistently, drink a ton of water, spend time with people who remind you of your worth and who love you and pour into you and you pour into them, and that it's this reciprocal relationship, you know, healthy relationships. And give yourself permission to rest without guilt. This leads beautifully into my 7th point. The final one, very, very important. Last, but definitely not least, prioritize good sleep, because rest and recovery make all of this possible. Like I said, your body, your nervous system is just trying to keep you alive. If you're exhausted, it's going to be hard to rewire your habits, rewire your subconscious mind, rewire your negative self-talk. You need rest. Your brain needs time to heal and instill these habits in order for that to work. So I'm going to say this really loud for the people in the back. Anyone who's working too hard and who has not heard this in a little while. Rest is not the opposite of productivity. Rest is what makes productivity really sustainable. So research shows that people who set goals with realistic action plans, including built-in recovery time, because it's so important, those people are far more likely to remain active as the years goes on. So they're much more likely to sustain their goals throughout the entirety of the year. And this is something I achieved last year and in recent years, and I loved it. I've been so proud of myself for making those changes, because when I was in college and high school, it was a bit harder. I was a bit not resting as much. I was harder on myself back then. Things were different, and I'm proud of where I am now, which is why I'm passionate about teaching this. So you need good sleep. You need to prioritize good sleep. You need to make these changes that help you sleep, like going to bed earlier, drinking sleepy tea, deep breaths and meditation and self-hypnosis, and really winding down, having that routine. My brain used to be in beta so much, and I would have insomnia until I learned these neuroscience and biology tools to really help me actually calm down and actually get good quality sleep, which has made tremendous changes in my life. And I love good sleep. So sleep is when your brain consolidates all your learning, and it's when your body repairs itself and when your nervous system recalibrates. So if you want to keep showing up for your goals, you have to keep showing up for your rest. Rest is not indulgent, it is essential. So I hope you loved these 7 steps, these 7 suggestions, these 7 ways for not quitting on Quitter's Day and just getting past that, rolling on past it, babe, and keep going. And these 7 tools can help you all year with your goals. So you're not going to quit on your dream life in 2026. You're not going to let circumstances distract you from what you've said truly matters to you. Even if you only have, say, 5 minutes a day to do the thing that you said you're going to do, those 5 minutes rack up, they add up to major wins over time. So you want to choose the incremental wins. Choose these small steps over just, letting it go and being like, next year. You want to choose these small steps and love. In love. Choose these small steps for yourself. Again, Quitter's Day is a checkpoint. It's a point of reflection in January when you can ask yourself, are these goals still aligned with who I'm becoming? Do they still light me up? If not, are there slight ways I can revise them? Are there ways I can make them actually more actionable and break them down into increments? And am I being kind to myself along the way? Am I being kind to myself as I achieve these goals, as I get back on that horse at any point in the year? Make that answer yes. Be kind to yourself, use positive self-talk, take care of yourself, love yourself. Then keep going, keep showing up, keep choosing love over fear, keep choosing action over apathy, and keep choosing persistence over perfection. I'm sharing this. You guys have seen I've made a couple little mistakes. I'm not perfect, but I am choosing this year to be visible, to share on YouTube, to practice my speaking, to share what I'm passionate about and share my writing, because I'm going to be a published author by the end of this year, by the end of 2026, and I have these goals and I'm supporting myself in these little action steps towards these goals. So I hope that this is a helpful example for you. I hope that you love and resonate with what I've shared here. If you want to share this with anyone, please do. If you want to comment and connect with me, I'm happy to connect and get to know you better. And I'm really ready to make 2026 my most successful year yet. And if you are ready to make 2026 your most successful year yet, join me, follow along, comment, let me know. Please subscribe. And yeah, like I said, connect with me. If you're ready to stop the cycle of setting goals and abandoning them, I'm here to support you. And I have a few offerings here to support you, a few resources you can use. I will link the personalized self-talk audit that takes about 5 minutes. And like I said, when you complete it, it's a Google form. You will receive in your email inbox from me a personalized insight, like a personalized recommendation for these little shifts that you can make to improve your self-talk. Then also, I will share with you the links to the 2 masterclasses, January 17th, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern on Zoom, a Promise Positive Self-Talk masterclass, and the same masterclass on January 18th, 12 to 2 p.m. Eastern on Zoom. So you can pick whichever time works for you for establishing and embodying your positive self-talk in 2026 to really set you up for success and set up your positive self-talk, which supports your highest vision in 2026. And finally, I'm beginning to offer in Q1 2026 one-on-one self-love and positive transformation coaching with me. So if you're ready for personalized support and you are interested in that, I'll include the Google form that you can fill out. We will create a roadmap for your 2026 goals rooted in self-love, nervous system regulation, and sustainable action. So if you complete the interest form and we are a good match, I will get back to you in 3 to 5 business days via email, and we can see how we can start working together. I have a few final notes, another beautiful quote to share with you, and then we'll wrap up. So, a river cuts through rock not because of its power, but because of its persistence. That's a quote from James Watkins. I'll say that one more time. A quote from James Watkins. A river cuts through rock not because of its power, but because of its persistence. It's a beautiful reminder. So let's make this year the year you actually follow through. Not through force, but like the river, through love, through persistence, through constancy. You are worthy of your dreams. You are capable of your goals. And you are deserving of patience, kindness, and grace along the way as you achieve your goals, giving yourself that patience, kindness, and self-love. Okay? If this resonated with you, I'd love to hear about it. You can comment, you can share, you can subscribe. It's so happy to connect with you. Thank you so much. And I'm wishing you the most successful start to 2026. Get right on past Quitter's Day. Tell me your experience with it. And I send you so much love from my heart to yours. Take care.